Welcome, football fans, to another episode of From the Hip. Today is December 6th, 2023, and we are in the middle of week 13. Today is our recap show, Wednesday. Let me bring on my host with me. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. On the show with me, I have Kory Thompson, Mo from One More Show, and joining us on the phone today would be Justin Rodriguez. Gentlemen, how you doing?
I'm good.
What's up? What's
I'm
up?
good. Good weekend of football.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Guys, I want to get right into it. Start right from it. We ain't gonna play around. The Packers defeated the Chiefs 27-9. And they shocked the world when they did it. I don't think anybody picked the Packers to beat the Chiefs, but they did what they did. So with that said, the streak continues and they keep their playoff hopes alive. So funny thing about them is that they got the 7th seed. They're holding on, but they got to hold on tight because you got the Rams at 8, the Seahawks at 9. That's right, I said it. The Seahawks fell out of the playoff race. With that said, Mo, let me start with you today. Okay, I put these stats up because I think we have a tale of two quarterbacks going on right now. Mahomes, who from the beginning of the season, I mean, everybody says that he's one of the best quarterbacks in the game, if not the best quarterback. What's going on? Because these are two different numbers, two different players, and they've been playing different every single week. What's your take on this?
It's them receivers.
In what sense?
They're gonna have to. I think they're gonna have to go get a surefire. They're gonna need somebody who's dependable at receiver, and they already have somebody dependable at tight end. Their run game is cool, you know. So I just think they need a number one receiver. Those receivers aren't reliable, and I've
What
been
did they
saying
have
that.
last year?
Y'all keep bringing up last year when that you shouldn't stick to that just because you were able to squeak out a Super Bowl with that. You shouldn't stick to that. You
I
always look
agree.
to get better. You
I
always look
agree.
to get better. So bringing up last year does nothing for this one when he's struggling so much. Those are not Pat Mahomes number.
No, I
Those are
don't think they
not Pat
should be
Mahomes number.
home numbers.
So I just think that they need a reliable receiver. Then we'll see. I ain't even saying a superstar, but like Tyreek was way more reliable than these guys.
Yeah, but Tyreek is a superstar, though.
Okay, so let's bring up when Tom Brady had when he was winning Super Bowls with me, you, Justin, and Kory. At least Wes Welker could catch.
Yeah.
At least Amendola could catch. These guys
Yes,
can't catch.
Julian Edelman.
Yeah,
they were
Edelman can catch.
reliable.
Yes, they were reliable. So he doesn't have that. It's game to game. In this game, they were horrible. So
I got you.
I wonder if they got any money coming.
Hey, Justin, I got a question for you. Okay. Love, and if you want, I can bring up those stats. Is Love starting to turn it around?
He's yes, you know what I'm saying? It's because in the beginning of the season when we saw Love come in, the first 2 games he came in hot. Then he went on a little slump for like 4 or 5 games. Now I had high hopes on Jordan Love coming in the season because he sat behind Rodgers for about 2 years, 3 years, I believe. So I thought this kid was gonna come over in that system, been in the system, he's gonna take over and he's gonna completely change the game. When we were going through them 4 to 5 game slump, I lost all hope. But he bringing the hope back. All right, he bringing the hope back because I think he finally woke up and Matt LaFleur put a little boot in his, you know what I mean? So I think now he's starting to reform and he's really making his Green Bay team a playoff team.
Okay. Last question I have is for Kory. Should we be worried about the Chiefs?
Yeah. I mean, I've said it from the start of the season. The way they were playing wasn't Chief football. They were struggling. Their defense looks good. I mean, the defense obviously has stepped it up. This is the first time I've seen the Chiefs with a really, really good defense. But as far as their offense, they are struggling because it hasn't been Pat Mahomes numbers. They've been having a couple of close games. Same thing I said about the Eagles. There have been too many close games. So I agree with Mo. They need to go get a weapon. And I was just looking. So like next year, they're supposed to have $50 million in cap space, depending on what goes. Maybe they can get T. Higgins.
You're talking about next year, but we still have a whole. We've got quite a bit of this season left, and they're in a bit of trouble. I'm talking about, are they in trouble for this season? Forget
Yeah,
about next season.
I'm already saying they're in trouble for this season because they do not look like the Kansas City Chiefs of the last 4 years that we've seen. They do not look like them.
I got you. Well, from a team that is on the way out, let's talk about a team that's growing. The Texans went into to play the Broncos, and came out and they did their
The
thing,
hottest team in the league.
Okay. Stroud did his thing. Stroud, he's keeping it going. 22-17. Stroud had a hell of a game. Okay. So my question to you, Kory, can the Texans break back into the playoffs? Right now, they are currently out of it. Just to put a little graphic up so you guys can see it. Right now, the Texans are at number 8. So they are the 8th seed, which means they're staying home. Do they have enough time in their record to break back into it?
Of course they do. They have enough time. They have a chance. They are in the AFC South. The Colts could easily drop out. Bring back up that graphic real quick. Let me see who else is in there. Oh, the Browns can definitely slide out. Easy. Steelers could still slide out too. I don't think
They
the
lost
top
their
4.
quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think the top 4 are going to slide out anywhere. I think all that's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of changes between 1, 2, 3, and 4 in positioning. That's all. And like I said, and I was right again, the Broncos aren't that good. Hottest team in the league got beat by the Texans, just like I said they would. I stand on my business.
But do you hear yourself, bro?
Nah, I do hear myself because every time y'all
Yeah,
go
I'm
against
like,
me,
you
I'm
listen to
usually
yourself?
right.
Do you hear yourself right now, bro?
Right. I stand on it. I'm
Did
putting
you
the
watch that
stamp on
game?
it. I told you.
Let me ask
It
you,
don't
did you
matter.
watch?
Did they win?
Did you
Did
watch
they
the game?
win?
Did you watch that game?
It doesn't matter. A win
It
is a
does
win.
matter.
Did
It
they
does matter
It
if
win?
you
really
watch
does
the
matter.
game.
Did you watch the
It
game?
Did
really does.
really
If
do
you
matter.
talk that smack,
win?
you
Did
better
they
be able to
win?
answer that question.
Did
He
they
didn't watch the
win?
game. He didn't watch
He
the
didn't.
game.
Did
That's it.
they
He didn't
win?
watch
He
the
looked at a
game.
I
score
didn't watch the
afterwards.
He
game.
looked at a
I saw
score. He
it.
didn't watch the
I
game.
saw the end. It was a pick six. It was a pick to end the game. So did they win? Yes. That's all that matters in the
He didn't watch the
NFL.
game, bro.
Well, you was talking about how Broncos been the hottest team in the league and they was beating this team and this team, but everything else didn't matter. But now that I'm right, it matters. When I said Pat Mahomes was sick, when I said Josh Allen was
You
playing
beat
to
his
the
ass.
level of who he was playing, that didn't matter then. That because the Broncos was hot. But now that y'all are wrong, it's a problem. We ain't doing that.
The
Except
Broncos
that
is literally none of our teams.
Except that L. But now y'all said they were the hottest team in the league. Y'all
not
said they
just-
were the hottest. It's just because you wrong. You
No,
were
we don't
wrong.
care,
I
but
was
we can
right,
tell
and
you didn't
that's
watch
what
the
you don't
game.
want.
We can tell
All
you
right.
didn't watch the game though.
Yep. We can definitely tell. Justin, how much does that injury hurt them for the season?
Oh, that's a big loss right there. Tank Dell was formed to be it wasn't statistically not his number 1 receiver, but you could tell that was one of the most reliable targets he had. One of them go getters,
Safety
the ones you
valve.
throw the ball up. Yeah, one of them boys you throw the ball up to them, you know he coming down with it every time, even with the size difference compared to these corners. Now losing him, it kind of puts a lot of pressure on Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz and I believe Robert Wood is the third receiver.
No, it's not Wood. It's I think Brown.
Well,
I'm not
I
sure.
can tell you that Nico actually stepped up his game on Sunday.
Well, he has
So
no
he
choice
picked it
now.
up.
I mean, he came in being the number 1, and Tank Dell kind of took that role. But Nico was originally the true number 1, and he's just gonna have to step into that role even more. And Dalton Schultz gonna have to step up as well. No more
It's
blocking
Nico
tight
gonna
ends.
be
He's gonna have to go
Noah
Nico
get
gonna be
Brown.
stepping up to somebody. He gonna be stepping up
Noah
to somebody
Brown.
scheming for him now.
There's Noah Brown. He's the other one. And they still have John Mechie, who should be pretty good. And yeah, that's it. Noah
And
Brown.
Say it
You
again,
just
Mo.
named two cheeks. You just named two cheeks. They're still gonna have to. Nico has to step up when they're scheming for him now because they wasn't scheming for him last game. This
Yeah.
time, you're the
Yeah.
only one.
Yeah.
You're the one. They're not gonna be talking about Michi and Noah Brown. They're gonna be talking about your ass. So it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different.
Yeah, it's no more blocking tight end schemes. No more. Dalton Schultz gonna run some routes.
Yep.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting to see how their next game plays out.
Yeah.
And I for sure am going to be looking. Who do they play next? Oh, yeah, the Jets. So that's going to be interesting. Because you know what? Say what you will about the Jets. They do have one of the toughest defenses, period. Everything else, like Mo said, is ASSSS. But but at least they have a really tough defense. So it's going to be tough to see. And it's going to be a good test. Because if Nico can still put up his numbers, if somebody else can step up, it'll be good to see that, especially against a tough defense.
Nico is going against Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Hey, Colts did it again. The Colts did it again. Colts defeated the Titans. Yes, I said the Titans, which is not the let's relax. It is the Titans. But they're staying in it. Yeah, they're staying in it. 31-28. And yeah, the Colts have the 7th seed. They are a playoff team. Okay. If the season were to end right now, the Colts are in the playoffs. So with that said, Mo, are you still not a believer?
You feel the magic yet?
Minshew, come on. You got to get down with that Minshew mania, Minshew magic. Are you still not a believer?
Yes, I'm still not a believer.
Crazy.
Do you believe in magic?
I don't
Is that just the hate in you, or is this?
Do you smell what Minshew is cooking, bro?
Listen, no, it's not the hate. When they get to the playoffs, what's gonna happen? Like, I don't.
It don't matter.
Well, when they get to the playoffs, right now they would have to play
someone.
They would have to play Baltimore right now if the season were to end today.
Yeah. And what's gonna happen?
Upset. I'm trolling.
No, I mean
somebody's definitely getting down with the mania here.
Minshew was doing his thing, but it's like, against the Titans, I thought they was gonna win.
Yeah, they should have won, and that's why they did.
It's not shocking.
It shouldn't have been as close as it was.
Now, what's their next game?
The Colts next game.
The reason why it was so close because Derrick Henry
their
took
next
a
game is against the Bengals, which we will be getting to that because
they got Bengals, Steelers, Falcons,
Bengals
Raiders,
and
look
Texans. Pretty damn good. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna ask another. Oh, I went too fast. Guys. My bad. Okay. The Colts. Actually, I got a question for you, Kory, about the Titans. Okay. Midway through the game, Mr. King Henry went out of the game, and Spears took over the helm as the lead running back. They looked a lot better. Is that telling you something about the Titans?
No, to be honest, because Derrick Henry still had over 100 yards with 2 touchdowns in that game. So, I mean, because he comes out, they have to change their offense to turn it into like a passing offense of a dynamic because you don't have Derrick Henry to run the ball like he normally does. So it doesn't really tell me anything, but it just says to me that they can adapt at times. Depending on who they're playing, they can adapt, which is a good thing. I mean, given the situation.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to know how you felt about that because I got Spears on my fantasy league, and I want Spears to do his thing. All right. That brings us up to the 49ers game. Game of the week, y'all. And 49ers came and clipped them wings, bro. 42-19. Put the Eagles fans, let's sit down for a little bit. Relax, okay? We had a
Not
tough
the ones throwing the
couple of games.
snowballs.
Yeah, you're not the ones yo, them fans. I've been telling you, there's nothing worse than a Philadelphia fan. Worst fans in the whole world. But here we go. They beat them 42-19. We all picked the 49ers, so we all knew that was going to happen. Did we know it was going to happen by that much? No, I don't think anybody thought that. Am I right? Did anybody think it was going to be a blowout?
No.
Yeah, of course. Kory's always Mr. Hindsight. Yeah, I roll my eyes too. We're just gonna put an eye roll over Kory from now on. Okay. But I got a question to you, Kory, since you knew what you always know afterwards what was gonna happen. But was this a 49ers win or an Eagles loss?
The 49ers win, 100%. 100%.
Tell me why.
The Philadelphia's defense has not been playing great all season. They've been giving up points when they shouldn't be to some of these teams. Their offense is sputtering. Jalen Hurts in 12 games has been outplayed 7 times. So 7 different quarterbacks have outplayed Jalen Hurts. He's only outplayed 5, and it wasn't even like the top teams he played. Brock Purdy put on a masterpiece. CMC was running the ball. They were all over the place. Debo was doing his
about
thing.
to cream yourself. Slow down.
I know. I can't help it though, man. It was a beauty. When you get to watch, when you get to watch football and you see a team's offense and their defense clicking at the same time, it's a beautiful thing. It really is. It really is. I'm a fan of the sport.
Mo kills me every time, I swear to God.
I'm a fan of the sport, man. So to me, it's a 49ers win. They wanted it more. And Debo said it. If we would have had Purdy in the championship, this game would have went a lot different.
I got you. Speaking of Purdy, Justin, I want an impartial person right now.
I'm glad you asked me about Purdy. Bro.
Okay. Purdy jumped up. Because of this game, he has jumped up, and now all of a sudden they are talking about him as an MVP. And I think in some rankings they even have him as the number 1. Would you have him as your number 1?
No, it's an overreaction. It's an overreaction because they saying that because he just beat the number 1. Remember, we just talked about this. Jalen Hurts is the number 1 MVP overall right now because he just beat. He just whipped Jalen Hurts like he was his son, right? They gonna say that he's the rightful number 1. No, that's not how it works. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask you a question. Let me stop you right there, Justin. Do you still think that Jalen Hurts is even on that list?
No.
Thank you. No. This question was actually going to go to Mo, but only because you had said that, I wanted to throw that question in there.
No. He has the best team in the league. Well, no, not no more. I'm not going to say that. But he has a winning record. He has the best record in the league. That's why they consider him in the MVP conversation. But since we love talking about numbers on this show, numbers wise, he is not the MVP.
Yeah.
Have you seen Purdy's numbers, or do you know where Purdy stands?
No. We're talking about Jalen Hurts right now.
Well, I want to go back because he was saying
we will, but right now we're discussing Hurts. Let's stay on topic. Okay, and Jalen Hurts, my question is, can we finally take him off the MVP list? I've been asking this question for week upon week. People keep talking about him as an MVP simply because the team is winning. When a team wins, shouldn't count for a quarterback's his individual award. Okay, and individually, I think, Kory, you even broke this up a little earlier. You said out of the 12 wins that they have, how many games has he been outplayed by the opposing quarterback?
the 12 games they played. He's been outplayed 7 times.
7 times outplayed by the other quarterback. How is that your league MVP? I need
Because
him off this list. I need him off this list. I don't care what record they have. I need him off
The
this list.
reason the reason he's spoken about like that though is because of the clutch times. They have played
Thank
a
you.
lot of close games. So they're gonna put him in that conversation and they're gonna keep him there because in the clutch times, because they have a bunch of close games, he comes in and he's money. Now I know they got killed by the 49ers, but let's not get too hasty, okay? Because put a lot of the quarterbacks in the league in those same situations, the record shakes out differently. That's all I'm saying. I know those numbers are not the best. They're not compared to your guy, Dak Prescott, who I know that's who you lobbying for. But
Actually, I'm not.
those clutch moments, and they have to have this season. They've had a lot of those clutch moments, in all of them, he show up.
I'll agree
If
to
that
that.
if
That's
that
exactly
I think he
what it
49ers
is.
deserves
game
a
was
different award.
if that 49ers game was close, I would bet my paycheck that Jalen Hurts would show up differently. But since it wasn't close, you wasn't getting that Jalen Hurts.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you right now that based off of the way he looked last week, I can't even co-sign him even being in my top 5.
No, he's not
can't.
my MVP.
Yeah, he's not my MVP. And in fact, everyone thinks that I'm a Dak Prescott fan. I am a Dak Prescott fan. Do I think that his numbers are right there? Yes. Between him and Purdy, best stats by far.
I want to
So
stop talking about quarterbacks
six,
for MVP.
six,
I
six
think
Thank
of
you.
his,
I was going to say
MVP
that.
is
I
a-
was going to say that.
I think the MVP is a wide receiver, actually.
Yes, it's him.
well, I will say 6 of Philly's wins were under 6 points, 6 points or less. So he's had 6 clutch games so far.
And the season ain't even over. It's a
Yeah,
17-game season. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no. As far as I'm concerned, if the season were to end right now and I got a vote, which I don't have a vote, but if I had a vote, it's Tyreek's year. I mean,
I could
just seeing
definitely-
what he's done so far. The man's at 1,500 yards, and he's got how many games left already to play?
I think 5.
He's going to break that 2,000, man.
Hopefully. That'll be
Yeah,
nice
he's going
to
to do
see.
that. He's going to do it because he's going to have at least one game where, shit, he plays the Jets in 2 weeks, I think.
But here's I have a
5'9"
question now,
people
too.
all across the world are going to get confidence when he wins.
No. I got a question now too.
Because
Remember
that's
that Kory's about 5'9".
Is he just gonna win offensive player of the year? Just hear me
No,
first.
I think he's going to
Hear
win
me
MVP.
first. Hear me first. Is he gonna just get offensive player of the year because of the fact that still they haven't beaten a team over 500? They haven't. Oh, let's just be honest. It also plays into Tua's got to pass him the ball type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, do you think that they would try to sway the vote? Like, let's say Dak and Purdy finish out the season with good numbers. You know what I'm saying? They keep playing, but Tyreek keep playing just the same, just as hard. Do you think they'll sway it towards Dak or Purdy because they're a quarterback and they kind of led their team and their record is better than give it to Tyreek if he breaks the 2,000 mark?
I'll let Mo answer because he already has the mic. Go ahead.
I think that those quarterbacks are going to do those numbers a few more times in their careers. You're not going to see. You don't get to see these type of performances from receivers all the time. So you have to say that I feel like you have to say that he's MVP. And because that team is running like they do against those cheap teams because of him. And I'm not going to give it to Tua. Before he got there, they wasn't moving like that. So I think they're going to give it to him based off that alone, especially if he go over 2,000. If he go over 2,000, the last person to do that was 6'5". So it's something to be said.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mo. If he hits 2,000, it's a wrap. He's got it because you're not going to see it happen often. I mean, when it's not something that happens. Wide receivers don't do what Tyreek is doing. They're not going to let that feat go by without the celebration behind it, especially in a season where none of the quarterbacks are really coming out like they're not having the Rodgers type seasons or the Brady seasons where he's throwing 50 TDs. They're not having those type of seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, because of his numbers, he breaks 2,000. That's his, and they're going to have to do something with that. That's why even if they don't have the best record, I think that's just where it's going to end up being. Purdy against Dak. I do want to touch on this. Okay. I've said it to you guys a couple weeks ago that if Dak goes out in the games that he has remaining, mind you, he has a very difficult schedule. So this is a big if. This is a very big if. He still has to play the Bills. He got to play the Dolphins. He's got to play the Eagles. He has to play, I think, Baltimore.
Who?
Was it Baltimore as well?
Who, Purdy?
No, I'm talking about Dak.
No. We don't see the Cowboys. Thank God.
But I know he has several very difficult games.
Let me see. I'll find out for you.
Yeah, I'm bringing it up now.
I do have another question.
Wait, hold on, because I do want to ask this question.
No problem.
Okay, because
he's got
the Eagles, the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Lions. That's the game that I thought it was. The Lions.
And the
Commanders. And okay, the Lions game is going to be Sunday Night Football. He's got a Sunday Night Football game against the Eagles. Okay, he just came off of a big Monday Night Football game. What I said to you guys earlier is if he has big games in these prime time moments, he's going to win that MVP. All right. Purdy. I do want to mention this, and I keep saying this again. I just watched a promo for next week's game on them, and they put CMC in the promo. The reason I mention that is because the man has no respect. He's not even the top player on his own team. How's he winning MVP? Numbers are there. Numbers are there. Not arguing numbers. I'm arguing the fact that he doesn't get the respect on his own team. How can we say that he's going to win an MVP? Hey, Justin, you sent me a link for Thursday Night Football, and you said how crazy it was that they did not have a player on the Patriots team to have on promo. So they literally had Belichick.
They literally had Belichick versus TJ Watt.
Yeah, I saw
what is
that
that telling you?
Belichick's a player.
What is that telling you?
Belichick's the team.
Okay. And if you won't put up Purdy, who we're now saying, hey, he could win MVP, and you don't want to put him up, but you put CMC up, that's telling me, and that's speaking volumes to me. The man can't win MVP of his own team. How's he going to win MVP of the league?
But is that just because CMC is the face of the team, we could say? He's the most popular.
You know, those promos are done like as the game is coming. It's not like they did those promos at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, but still.
Anthony got a great point with that, man. Is that when you bring that point up.
So if you go on to the promo for next week's game, it literally has CMC there. It does not have Purdy. Even though he had this great game and we're talking about him for MVP, CMC's picture is still there.
But that's a shame. That's shame on the NFL when Purdy has the number one QBR, only 6 interceptions, 23 touchdowns, over 3,100 yards.
Yeah, no one's arguing his numbers. His numbers are there, buddy.
You love numbers so much. If you put Purdy on the Cardinals, he's not doing any of that.
Okay, but he's not on the Cardinals.
That's
why he's not in the promo. We're talking about the promo, and you want to bring up numbers.
I said it's a shame. It's a shame. But I wanted to go back onto the Tyreek thing real quick to bring this up. 2 years ago, you have Cooper Cup win the Triple Crown and almost get 2,000 yards. He was at 1947, and he didn't win MVP. What does that tell you?
Who
That's
won
just
MVP?
who won MVP that year?
Yeah.
I want to say it might have been Mahomes.
I wish I could find the promo. I went to go look to see if I could find that promo so I could put it up there. Thought that was crazy that it's got CMC and not Purdy. I couldn't find the picture of that promo. I was going to share it. Terrible.
My bad. It was Aaron Rodgers that year.
You know, but it goes to my point exactly what I'm trying to say about this. It's like the man, I don't think is going to win simply because he's not getting the respect from his own team. And that's my point. But I do
They know
believe it
it's the
should be
perfect
Hill.
storm.
I agree with you, Mo. It should be Hill, especially if he hits 2,000.
San Francisco know it's the perfect storm.
Yeah.
They know.
Hey, now we're going to get to a touchy subject here.
Yeah.
We're going to start with you, Mo, right away. I need to know, how bad is the Prince? Is he gone for the season? Is he gone for 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Is he gone for a week, or is he
At least 2 weeks. At least 2 weeks.
No, he need to be gone, but the way he was talking today, he trying to do what Mahomes did in the show. He trying to rehab all week and play Sunday.
Okay.
He walked in without a boot. So he walked up to the presser without a boot. The man trying to play. It was a high ankle sprain, same one that Mahomes got against us in the playoffs. It could be done. Would I like to see it? No, but he trying to play. The dude tough as hell. Now I got to give it to him, but it looked much worse than it turned out to be.
Yeah, it looked terrible. And for those who don't know, on Monday night, we all picked the Jaguars, obviously, to beat the Bengals. I mean, they don't have Burrow. We already played taps on this team. We called them done for the season. And here they come with this guy Browning.
Yeah, it was a shootout.
And I mean, it was a good game. I mean, at the end of the game, Trevor Lawrence wasn't there. So it kind of skews it. But he was there for most of the game. He did have a quality game.
Ooh, can I say something? Because I told Justin
Please.
that I think they be watching our show or listening. Hey, NFL refs, y'all are full of shit. That was not holding. That was not holding at the end of the damn game. He threw his arm out and ran through it, but you said it's fucking holding. And then another thing, when a receiver goes up for a catch, you are not allowed to cover their eyes to see the ball. Can we stop with these other stupid calls that y'all come up with the ones that are blatantly obvious? How about that? But I digress.
Oh, you mean like the pass interference in the Chiefs game that they missed?
Yes.
You know what? Let me say something about that. Yes, it was pass interference. It was obvious. Yes, I believe the correct team won the game anyway. The Chiefs did not play well, period.
I think this is them.
Okay. And I also applaud Mahomes for, after the game, showing the professionalism that he has and saying, yeah, that don't matter. Like, he's not going to shed light on that and say, oh, that's the reason we lost. No, we lost because we lost. That just happened to happen. So what? It is what it is. We should have moved past that anyway.
See, he the face of the league. He the face of that team. I ain't the face of the fucking Jaguars. I'm the face of the fans and the voice of the fans and the voice of the voiceless. And you refs are pissing me off.
But can we say that this has probably been one of the worst years for reffing? One of the worst seasons I've seen.
No doubt. No doubt. The refs have definitely looked poor this year. They look poor.
We could do this for every game.
Yeah. Now, Justin, was I too quick to write off the Bengals?
I think you was. I think you was, because that performance last night, this is a backup quarterback coming in and throwing for 354 and a TD. Yeah, bro. It's this is definitely a team you do not write off yet. I mean, I think they're kind of far down in the in their conference, respective
They're
conference
number
and
10.
division.
They're
To
number
be
10, but they are literally a game out. Am I right, Kory?
No, there would be more like 2 games out.
2 games out. So
They
I
still
Aren't
out.
they 6-6? They're 1 game.
Yeah, but still, you got to think of also in their division. They could get
Yeah.
pushed out by who's
The
who's
Steelers
winning
are in their
and so
division.
forth, and the Browns. And then
Browns.
if they've lost
Baltimore.
any of these other teams, it's all
Yeah,
some
so,
numbers.
I think you're a little too early to write them off, but to make the playoffs, they gotta go on a run. So it's a little
The only
tough.
reason I mentioned that is because this quarterback Browning came out. I didn't know who the hell he was. 32 for 37, 354 yards and a TD.
Man, I was trouble.
QBR rating of 84.
Well, we saw this with Will Levis, his first game.
Yeah, and you know what? Like Mo loves to say, they ain't got no tape on him yet.
Ain't got no
See
tape.
what happens next week.
Justin,
No
did you
tape.
play
No
Jamar?
defense play ass.
A lot of these throws that he made this game. That's why 32 for 37 don't shock me. A lot of these throws were check downs. A lot of them.
Did you play?
Yeah, but that's
Did you
Purdy's
play
whole game,
Jamar?
and we still talk.
Oh, you know,
because that's Purdy's whole game.
Okay,
He
you
doesn't
played
throw
him
past
this
10
week.
yards.
Last week.
Yeah, these
Just
are all
because you do
all
that
check
doesn't mean
downs,
anything.
But it's what the defense is giving you. You take what the defense gives you. That's the way you play football. But we
gave that to him because every time we was trying to keep everybody in front of us. I think that was stupid. I think that's why we look dumb out there. That's why we look sorry. But that's how we was playing. Keep everybody in front of you.
You know what? I like you because you like me. We can admit when our teams play bad.
Yeah. You know what really saddens me about it was I would have liked to have seen if the Jaguars had actually pulled off that win on Monday. They're the number 1 ranked team in the AFC. I just wanted them to make it there just so I could see it there. Right now they are ranked third. They're not out of it by any means, but you know, it would have just been nice to see them as the number 1 for a while. It would have been
Trevor,
cool.
go sit down just 1 week.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Trevor, sit down 2 weeks. You need to heal up, buddy.
Well, yeah, because he's playing Cleveland this week, and I would hate to see him really take a hard,
Miles.
It's Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's Myles Garrett.
Trevor, go sit down for a week.
Ooh.
Or just hand the ball off and just let ATN do everything.
Yeah. And Scary Terry, you listened to the show. You said you was running cardio. You listened to the show. You called Trevor and told him to sit down.
Mm-hmm. All right. Gentlemen, let me ask you guys a quick question. Tomorrow night, New England's playing Pittsburgh. I'm not watching the game because it's
3-9.
Belichick versus nobody. Okay. But I don't care that they have the number 5 seed. They lost their quarterback. How long is he going to be out for? Is he out for the season yet?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
But
it's gonna be, the score gonna be damn 3-9.
I don't think
Pittsburgh.
So I'm not too concerned about this game, but real quick, guys, let's go around the horn. Justin, who you got?
I got Pittsburgh, man.
Pittsburgh. Mo?
Pittsburgh.
Kory?
You know what? I'm gonna go with New England.
Me too. I'm gonna go with you, Kory. I'm gonna say New England just for the hell of it. You know why? It's because that's who I want to win this game. You know what I mean? It's not even because I don't even care about New England. I just don't like Pittsburgh.
Okay, so Pickett, he underwent surgery to tightrope surgery to address a right high ankle sprain.
Right. That's what they do.
So if he has that surgery, he'll probably be, I want to say maybe 3 games, maybe. I would think.
Yeah. It should be.
Let's just wrap it up for the season.
So,
as far as I'm concerned, whether he's there or not, he doesn't affect the team.
Did you
he
see
doesn't
that?
make them better, he doesn't make them worse.
That Chargers game.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
but we're going to call that as an even. We're going to call it to see how it works out. So, gentlemen, I do want to thank you for coming out. It's a quick one today. I wanted to make sure it was quick. It's a Wednesday show. We'll be back on Saturday so that we can get more into these games, and because we got a big weekend coming up. But let me give you your parting shots. Let me start with Justin.
Yeah, man. From the Hip Podcast every week, Wednesday and Saturday. We here every week. Give you the contact, buy his opinions. Kory gonna give you the numbers as always. And yeah, man, go Hawk.
I got you. Hey, Kory,
Mm.
what do you got?
Hey, I'm right though. That's the problem. Y'all don't like it.
Why
So
did I go to him? Mo, I
it
should've
is
muted.
the truth. It is the truth. But we're here every week, twice a week. Come give us a check. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever. Wherever you can find it, we there.
All right, Mo.
Tune in to One More Show Saturdays on Station Head. NFL
Show's fire,
refs.
y'all.
Thank you. NFL refs, kiss my ass, and that's what I got.
You should have played Unbreak My Heart for him.
Don't worry. We'll see what happens later on. Folks, thanks for watching the show. Kory is not right most of the time. Most of the time he's wrong. He just doesn't point that
Most
shit
of
out.
the time I'm right.
And I'm glad you all
Told
came
you about Denver.
watch it. Hey, let me
Trash.
mute his ass. Thanks for watching. And as always, let's keep it football and let's keep it from the hip.